It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Suzette Says here, and I am back with another mommy to mommy video. And this one I am really excited to share with you all because I am going to be talking about how I homeschool my toddler. So they say that this is the best time of the year because it's the time when all the kids, whether really small or really big, are going back to school. It kind of got me thinking about all the learning activities that I do at home with my son Carter. And for those of you who may just be joining me and are new to my channel and don't know, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my son is not quite school age yet. And when I say school age, I mean pre-K, which I think universally is 4 years old. So anything prior to pre-K is considered daycare. But even depending on the quality and type of daycare, these days some daycares are really progressive, and they have a really strong emphasis on early childhood education and curriculum. So at some daycares, they're really doing a lot and exposing them to a lot of learning activities. So by the time they get to pre-K and kindergarten, they're really advanced. And of course at daycare, they still allow kids to be kids and play and get their social interaction and stuff like that. But in terms of what I do at home with Carter, I think he's okay with the socialization aspect because he's enrolled in Jamboree. He goes to Jamboree once a week, and that's kind of where he interacts with other kids. Even with that being all taken care of, as we started to approach this new school year, I really wanted to reorganize my days at home with Carter and provide him with a more daycare-like structure so that I would be able to better track his development, and that I know as a mom that he's getting the most out of his learning experiences. So now if you're a viewer of my vlogs, then you'll know that I recently took Carter on what I consider to be a back to homeschool educational shopping spree, which was funded and sponsored by his godmother. Hi godmommy, I know she's watching. So in this video I'm going to share the contents of that haul with you, along with some of the other learning activities that I've been doing with him all along, and some of the new activities that I plan to do throughout our homeschool school year. So you're gonna notice that a lot of the items that I got him from our back to homeschool shopping spree are crafts to do arts and crafts projects, and that was definitely done intentionally on my part. And the reason why is that at Carter's age, which he's 2 years old, and even up, it doesn't matter what age your child is, learning should absolutely be fun, but especially for little kids, because I find that at this age their brains are like sponges and they're soaking everything up. And a lot of kids are actually very eager to learn as long as you provide the right support and you make it very fun for them. And depending on the arts and crafts projects that you do with your children, a lot of them have the potential to incorporate colors, shapes, problem solving. Children get to enhance their hand-eye coordination, their fine motor skills, and the list just goes on and on depending on what project you're actually doing. So with that said, I'm gonna jump right into the haul, and then I'm gonna share all the other stuff that I have planned for our homeschool year. So this is just the stuff that was purchased yesterday. Most of this stuff was purchased from one of his godmothers, with the exception of the book bag that was purchased from my mother. So I'm gonna start with the back and then I'll move my way to the front. Carter has this nice little book bag, and of course he's not actually going to school, but now that he is 2, you know, he's definitely more independent and he wants to do more things for himself. So we'll be using this book bag when we go outside, most likely to the library and different places like that. We got a pack of construction paper. This is 240 sheets, so I know that this will be lasting us for quite some time, the whole school year. We also got him these safety scissors. This is for 36 months and up. Carter is not quite 3 yet, but I think that he is old enough to start trying to use scissors. I know that in a lot of daycares they start with scissors very early, so I'll be monitoring him. I definitely am comfortable with introducing scissors to him. And this is cool because it's a trio pack and it comes with different patterns: wave cut, straight cut, and a zigzag cut. so I know that we'll have a lot of fun with these. We also got some containers just to organize all this stuff here. This is a pack of foam sheets, but they're feet. And the idea behind this, when I picked it up, is that I want to do kind of like adventure scavenger hunts throughout the house where maybe we're looking for certain things, and I'll tell him follow the feet to look for certain clues. So I just thought this was cute. That's just one of the activities that I plan to do with this, and I'm not sure what else I'll do, but I thought that it was worth picking up. This is just a pack of moving eyes, being that the fall is approaching. I picked up these autumn leaves, and we'll do some craft projects to introduce him to teaching him about the seasons and leaves and things like that. I also picked up a pack of feathers. There's so many different arts and craft projects that kids can do with feathers, so we'll be using this for a few. This is a pack of assorted pom-poms. They're different sizes. I want to get him used to the idea of using different things to create stuff, and I want to introduce him to using glue as well, and that's also one of the items that we purchased yesterday, stick glue. So that'll just be part of some of the projects and stuff that we'll do. Now, I know that you're probably looking at these household items like, why does she have cotton balls and paper plates? But there are so many different craft projects and learning activities that you can do with cotton balls and paper plates. One of the things that we'll be learning about and discussing is the weather. We'll be making the sky with the clouds using the paper plates and the cotton balls and things like that. I also got pipe cleaners. Again, just a really fun craft item that can be used for so many different things. A pack of buttons. These are foam stickers, and I really like this pack because it comes with letters, numbers, and shapes. You can peel the sticker part off and stick them to different things. We also picked up some tissue paper. This has different colors in it. We also picked up some organizing bins just to be able to house all of this stuff. So those were just a few arts and crafts that we picked up for our back to homeschool year. As a mommy tip to other moms out there that may be watching this, when it comes to arts and crafts projects, when you have an idea for a project that you want to do with your toddler, something that's really going to be helpful to you is to actually do the project yourself before you present it to your child. When you do that, you'll create a prototype for them, which will also be a visual so they can see what they're gonna do, they can get excited about it. You wanna kind of hype them up. Children are visual learners, and it's just better to see the finished product of what they're gonna be making with you, because if you just kind of have a bunch of crafts out and say, okay, we're gonna glue this and stick this here, they may not be able to really grasp what is happening and what the outcome is going to be. Another reason why you want to create a prototype is because it will allow you to actually complete all the steps of the process. That way, you know your child. You know what's going to come easy to them, what's going to be a little bit difficult, and what's going to be downright horrible, a disaster. My son, like I said, he's 2 years old, and we are in that very temperamental phase. Tantrums can happen at the drop of a dime, and the key to doing arts and crafts projects is to keep the project short. Children lose interest really quick, so you want to make the most of their attention span. Keep them motivated, keep them entertained prior to presenting it to them. If anything needs to be cut, have it pre-cut. Only take out the supplies you need. And as you're going through the process, if you know that something is going to be really difficult for your child to complete, maybe you might want to go ahead and do that step for them. That way you can just bypass it and keep the project moving smoothly. You might even need to do a couple of prototypes. That way you can show what the project is going to look like in the beginning, in the middle, and the finished product. The key here is to definitely make your child feel supported, and you want them to be challenged, but you don't want them to feel defeated. For Carter's homeschool experience, one of the things I created were learning boards. And I purchased these trifold display boards. These are the old school science fair boards from back in the day. I'm sure you probably remember. I know I would struggle walking to school with these things on the day of the actual fair because I'm short and they were practically my size. So these boards have made a complete comeback in my life, and I absolutely love them for homeschooling. One of the reasons is because I can create multiple lessons on one board. They're completely customizable, so you can do anything you want with the board. On this particular board I have colors on the left side, the alphabet in the middle, and shapes and numbers on the left side. So with this one board, I've created 4 different lessons. This is the second learning board that I'm still actually in the process of making this one for Carter, because this is a weather board. As you can see, it has the different seasons, has all of the different types of weather, and then it comes with this bear that you can dress. Oops, I'm showing his unmentionables. You can dress him up in all different clothing depending on the weather. But the thing about this is that I'm not finished because I want to get all these pieces laminated. This is a board that's going to be interactive, and so Carter's going to be constantly moving and placing different pieces on it. So in order to preserve the life of this board, I must protect it by laminating every single piece here. But this is just another example of a learning board that you can do. The last and probably the most favorite thing I love about these learning boards is that I can bring them out for lesson time and then put them away when not in use. So this frees up space in my home. I don't have a separate homeschool room in my house, so all of our learning is done in the living room, which is also our shared family space. And as much as I love teaching my son, at the end of the day, I really don't like my living room to look like I run a daycare. So rather than having things hanging on the wall on an everyday basis, the learning boards can just go behind the couch or in a closet when I'm not using them. Another thing that we'll be incorporating in our homeschool experience are worksheets. And I found some amazing websites that has tracing worksheets online that I was able to download, and I'll link those websites below in the description box. One of the things that I plan to do with the worksheets is to actually print them out, and then from there you can either decide to laminate them, or you can blow them up into posters and have them laminated. I love to laminate things because the actual surface is writable, so you can use a dry erase marker and write on it, and then it'll wipe right off with either the dry erase eraser or even just a damp cloth. Now, laminating can get really expensive, and so can printing worksheets out over and over. So another thing that I find completely useful is to use protector sheets. You can find that at any home office supply store. The protector sheets are clear, so you can just print what you need, put them inside the sheet. The really cool thing about these is that they already have the holes in them to place in binders. So once you have a worksheet that you've printed out, you can go ahead and place it in here. It'll be protected, and then you can just use different colored dry erase markers for children to write on and for you to teach your lesson. And these also wipe right off with a damp cloth or a dry erase marker. This will allow you to repeat the same lesson over and over without having to spend lots of money on printing paper, because ink is very, very expensive. So some of the things that I do with Carter now and that I plan to continue to do throughout our school year is story time. He has a really comprehensive library here at home, and we'll also be going to the library and also Barnes and Noble. Another thing that we've been doing is flashcards. Flashcards have just been a major resource for us. I really try to mix it up with the flashcards in terms of what we do. Sometimes I'll take a few flashcards and then I'll have him identify an object and see if he can point it out. Sometimes I'll shuffle the flashcards and I'll say, let me know when you see the blank, you know, and then as he's seeing me shuffle the cards, I wish I had some cards in my hand, but you get the idea. If these are my cards right here, if I'm shuffling, I'm like, let me know when you see the apple, you know, and he has all these things passing him by, and then he can spot the apple and be like, oh, I see the apple. And I actually got that from like a cartoon. Cartoons, I know some parents are not big on having their children watch TV, but some cartoons are actually very educational. And as a stay-at-home mom, sometimes I need that half an hour or hour to myself to get other things done around the house. And I have no shame in saying that. You know, if I put him in front of the TV, at least I know he's watching something that's educational. And he's actually learned a lot of stuff from some TV programs. It's not like I'm having him watching like novellas and, you know, Scandal. Another thing that we do and we'll also continue to do are nature walks. Let me tell you guys, do not underestimate how much children can learn from their environment. Just get outside, even if it's for a 10-minute walk. You can do so much with a toddler in 10 minutes. So I'm not telling you to, you know, by nature walks, I'm not telling you to drive out into the woods and spot bears and stuff like that. Wherever you are, whether it's just around the block or to the park, it is just amazing seeing kids interact outside. Because us as adults, we're desensitized to a lot of things. When we get outside, we don't notice the flowers, we don't notice the trees, we don't notice the breeze blowing the leaves down the street. But kids do. They notice every little thing because they've been in this world such a short time that just the little things are so exciting to them. And so try to see the world through their eyes and just really encourage them while they're outside. Play I Spy. You know, I spy with my little eye a tree, and then they hear the word tree and now they're going to be looking for a tree, and then they get so excited. They're like, oh, there's a tree right there. Take some flashcards outside. If you have flashcards of a bird and a squirrel and a flower, you can take them out on your nature walks and have them identify the things on their flashcards. That way they're starting to put word associations to the things that they're seeing on the flashcards and the things that are out there in the real world, in real life. And of course, I'm gonna just let Carter be a kid and let him play. It's cool because a lot of the toys that you already purchased for your kids or that other people may buy them can be really educational for them. Legos are amazing. They're able to build things. They're using their imagination. You can identify colors with Legos, things like that. So definitely don't underestimate the toys that are already in your house. Now, as much as I really want to structure our days to mimic daycare, I know that that's not necessarily practical. The fact that I am a stay-at-home mom and I have another child in the house, my daughter is going to be 9 months old. She also requires my attention. I mean, of course, my full-time job is a mother, but I still have other things that I have to do throughout the day, throughout the week. Dinner needs to be cooked, I have to clean, I have to go grocery shopping and things like that. My advice to you is if you are a stay-at-home mom, you can definitely make the things that you have to do throughout your day, include the kids and make things a learning moment for them. So if you're going out to the grocery store and you have to pick apples, let them identify the apples. Let them tell you which are the green apples and which are the red apples. And if you know you need to pick up 5 apples, let them pick them out and count them and put them in the bag. And then you've just made the most mundane activity in your life a learning moment for them, and you make it fun. So it's just a win-win. All right guys, so those are my ideas for how I plan to homeschool my toddler throughout this school year. And I really hope that this video was really helpful for you and gave you some ideas and some tips. Whether you are a stay-at-home mom like myself, or if you're a working parent and you're just looking for some ideas for things to do with your child on the weekends or during the evenings when you come home from work to expand on the learning that they're doing in daycare or in school, I really hope that you can use some of these ideas and your interactions with your children. And if you do, let me know. If you have any tips for me and things that you feel might be helpful for myself, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let this video become like an open forum for us parents to interact and share ideas, because we're definitely all in this together. It takes a village. And I, of course, will be sharing the projects that we do throughout our homeschool year. So definitely make sure you are subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss videos when I post them. And if you're not already, join me on social media. I'm on Instagram as I'm Suzette Says. You can see my kind of day-to-day adventures on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook as Suzette says, definitely, if you're not following me on Pinterest, definitely join me there, because I do a lot of pinning. I'm like a spider on Pinterest. I love Pinterest, and I have a lot of different boards on Pinterest geared towards toddler learning with some of the ideas that I want to do with Carter for our homeschool year. So give this video a thumbs up. I wish you and your little ones the best of luck in your homeschool year if you're also going to be doing homeschool. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.